Welcome back to the show. Definitely a very interesting conversation with two DA members doing such phenomenal work. It's so nice to see that they've actually realized that they have a deeper purpose in life as well. Talking about deeper purposes, we're going to be chatting to a father and son who've really changed their lives for the better. And I think it's so inspirational. So we're saying all of you go grab a nice cup of tea or coffee and join us because it's a story that is so phenomenal to see people that are in these types of areas are making them understand and making you as the viewer understand that you can change your life for the better. So let me tell you a little bit about my two guests this morning. I have father and son, Sebastian and Ralph Haricombe. Now, in 1973, Ralph joined the Glamour Boys gang because like other children in his neighborhood back then, that was what he was exposed to on a daily basis. Of course, ending up in very serious situations. Their home was in Sunnyside, Cape Town, and it burned down decades ago. But Haricombe's family has moved on. And then let me just tell you a little bit about his son as well. At 15, before we go forward, at 15, Ralph was caught stealing and sent to remedial school. But a place that should have set him back on the straight and narrow only made things worse. Soon afterwards, he joined the Cape Town Scorpions, a gang that operates to this day, but is not as prominent as all the other gangs. And then years later, Sebastian looked to follow a similar path when his father's absence led him to seek refuge with the Young Boys gang in Menenberg, known as the Naughty Boys. They're going to be speaking to us about, the type of situation that they were in as far as their lives were concerned and how they changed it for the better and where they are today. A very good morning to both of you, and thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing us to be on your show this morning to send a message out that change is possible.
Yes, most definitely. So am I on the line with Ralph or Sebastian?
Yeah, I'm Sebastian. My father is here. Just greet the public quickly.
Morning, I'm Ralph Haricombe.
Morning.
I'm Sebastian's dad. I'm 62 years old. We're living in the Menenberg and we've got a project with the name of Hope. Hope stands for helping others prosper everywhere. Good morning to
a very good morning to you. You've blown me away already with that word and what it means. A lot of us look at the word hope as a positive connotation, but you've taken it one step further, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. But before we go into anything, let's start with you, Sebastian. Talk to us about your story and where you were in a situation. And as we know, Menenberg has a lot of gangs. The area is quite volatile. The situation for young people is not very good as far as role models are concerned. But the two of you have shown us that there is hope, as you say, and things can change. So talk us through your story quickly. What was life like for you in Menenberg when you were young? And what made you decide to change?
Well, good day. I'm Sebastian Haricombe. I'm 31 years old. So, yes, about 25 years ago, when I was 6 years old. So my dad went to prison. So my mother had raised us in Menenberg. So I was a little boy, without a father figure, growing up in Menenberg, having this absence of a father. And I knew that my dad was in jail because there was
Sebastian, are you still on the line? Okay. Ralph, are you there? Ralph, are you on the line? Okay, we seem to have a bad signal there with
Hello?
Hi, is Ralph, are you on the line, Ralph, or is that Sebastian?
Sebastian.
Right. Sorry, Sebastian, we lost you there for a minute. Your signal was rather bad. Let's go back to what you were saying. You found yourself in a situation, and your dad went to jail, of course. Let's talk about what sort of impact that had on you.
Well, growing without a father put me in a position where I was without guidance because my mother could only do the bit that she could do for us by working for us, providing for us,
Mm,
and sending us to school. But the father has the main important figure to lead the way
mm,
in a sense of, creating us into those that will be able to stand firm against the challenges and stuff. So growing up, going to school, knowing that my dad is in prison, uh, cut
mm,
a piece out of my life where I said to myself that, you know what, I also want to go to prison one day. And I also want to become like my dad because I think this is the path that I also want to go. Because thinking that my dad is a role model to me
mm,
uh, at the time. So growing up in Menenberg at the age of 7, 8 years old, I was already standing on a gambling pool
mm,
where they throw dice and,
mm,
uh, also started to adapt to the gangster language that they speak outside.
mm,
And growing up like that, I actually made up my own crew on school,
mm, mm,
also uh, with the title of uh, Cape Town Scorpions, but mostly to become the 28th step because I know my dad is a 28 in prison. So I also want to be like a leader figure to my friends on school.
mm,
But little did I know that I had a negative influence on them that time already.
of course.
And growing up like that, I was rebellious,
Mm,
I gave a lot of problems to my mother on school. Every week I was in the office. There was complaints about me. If I don't do my schoolwork, then I fight with kids on school. And this built up a reputation for myself
mm,
at school. So at the age of 12 years old, when I was in grade 6, so I got expelled because now the school tried to help me to get in social workers. Social workers sit with me, they counsel me. That didn't help.
mm,
So at the age of 12, I landed up on the streets
sure.
here in Menenberg. I couldn't go to school because of my reputation. And that is where I started getting involved with my friends that I used to hang out after school,
Mm,
smoking cigarettes, smoking dacha.
mm.
And from the dacha, we went to Mandrix.
Sure. Okay,
So in
let's go to your dad quickly. Now we understand
Okay.
your situation and what it meant for you and the impact it had on your life. Sebastian, what was it like for you? In 1973, you had joined the Glamour Boys gang, and of course, it then ended up with all the negativity on you. Then eventually, for you to having to go to prison. What was that like for you in your life, having to be in prison? What sort of a life was it?
Yeah, as for me, I think the time when I was joining the first gang, the Glamour Boys,
Mm,
for me it was like the same thing that Sebastian went through. I went through
mm.
because when I was 3 years old, my mom did die, and my dad did take a other wife. So there was no father figure for me also. But
Mm,
when I was in standard 3 on school, I was also expelled from school
mm,
because the time that I was joining the Glamour Boys, for me it's like if you belong to a gang,
mm,
then you got more power to
mm.
do what you want to do. But if you are a lone walker, then everybody can just come and point a finger in your face and you can do nothing.
No,
So that
I see your situation, Sebastian, with yourself and Ralph. It's like a norm growing up in that type of society, and people are not realizing, and especially your kids as well. No, they grow up thinking that that is the norm of life, and not realizing that there's more to it than that. But we're going to talk about that, and when we get back, we're going to go for a quick ad break.
Okay.
Because of you, thousands of needy families received food aid.
Because of you, 2,000 pairs of school shoes made their way to deserving feet. Because of you, we provided access to clean water in South Africa and Asia.
Because of you, we fed over 100,000 people.
Because of you, we can continue to assist people in need and make the world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your donation is saving lives. www.pennyappeal.org.za. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Africa. For your convenience, the Africa Muslims Agency's Durban office has moved to 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, Durban. Our friendly staff are eagerly awaiting to receive, advise and share with you the current ongoing campaigns and projects that you have been supporting for the last 35 years. Visit us at 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood or call 031 207 5676. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Osman's Taj Mahal Spice and Rice. For over 80 years, Osman's Taj Mahal have been perfecting the art of the perfect blend of spices, pure, aromatic, and well-seasoned. Spices to tantalize your taste buds. From creative cuisines to gastronomical gourmet goodies. From exotic odors to traditional dishes, Osman's Taj Mahal have remained synonymous with quality spices and condiments. Taj Mahal rice, beans, and lentils. Try our range of chili bite mixes, rose and ilachi syrup, our quick and easy biryani pack, and our traditional range of spice blends. Osman's Taj Mahal. There is no substitute for quality.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Welcome back in conversation with two phenomenal gentlemen who've changed their lives around from the Manenberg area. And as we know, that particular area is very well known for its gangsterism and the negativity around it. But these two gentlemen have shown us that life can be better and that they can change it around, and they are trying to change it. So let's talk about that. Ralph, we were on the line with you earlier, and you spoke to us about the way you felt when you were in prison. Let's talk about what it meant for you when you came out. Obviously, you contacted your father, who was released from prison in 2003. And then you were reluctant, but you eventually reunited with Sebastian as well. What has that meant for you? At least the family has now come together, but it also served a deeper purpose. And I think probably sitting in prison made you understand that there's more to life than just that.
When it's Sebastian speaking here. So when my dad was released out of prison in 2003, so he came home. So that time we was already, like, me and my brother, we 3 children. So I'm the second eldest. I have a sister younger than me and a brother older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So when my dad came home, I was already smoking mandrakes and smoking tip, That time probably just came out, and I just started with smoking tuck with my friends. So when my dad came, he tried to pull the house in order because we were already big at that time. So he used violence on us by beating us because I can remember one night when I was sleeping out with my friends. I came home this morning and I didn't tell him. So they were cleaning the Sunday morning, and I came home and I just thought I can come in, and then my dad, asked me, why did you sleep out, or why didn't you tell us? So I just thought, no, I tell him I sleep by someone. He said, no, that's not the way out. So I got beaten because I was not submitting under the rules of the house. But going that way, and I think it had an effect because now we were not used to, being beaten or, being submitted under strict rules. But eventually, what happened, our family tear apart, and where situation where my brother was beaten, and he left his hands on my dad, and I stood with my dad, and then I landed up on the street, with my dad, not sleeping at home. I couldn't wash me at home, and I had to wear broken shoes, didn't have proper clothes to wear. And that is where myself and my dad ended up smoking mandrakes together.
Let's quickly go into what changed it. What made you realize you're for yourself and your dad? Is your dad still on the line there?
Excuse me?
Is your dad still on the line?
Yes, he's here.
Sebastian, what was it like for you to change your life around? What was your turning point to say that we cannot live like this anymore? This is something that we need to do to change our lives. We have to, get ourselves together and change it.
Okay, well, my turning point, Sebastian speaking here.
Yes.
So I was invited to church in 2008. I was cleaning a elderly lady's garden, so she invited me to church. So one Sunday morning, I went to the civic, but I didn't find this lady there. So I attended the service, the 8 o'clock service, and when the service came out, then they came in, and I told her, listen, I was looking for you in this service, but I didn't find you. And since that time, I attended the same service, the 8 o'clock one by the civic. So I went up, and every week I went for prayer, and I asked the pastor to pray for me, for my situation with the drugs, with the gangsterism. And it took me 2 months, and I stopped with drugs. I stopped with gangsterism.
Wow.
I just moved my camp, away because I saw, during the time when I was 16 and 17 years old, I was almost killed 4 times by gangsters here in Menenberg.
So Ralph, Sebastian, would you say that you found your Lord and your Lord guided you into the right space?
That's correct.
There we go.
That's
Okay,
correct.
let's talk to your father, Sebastian.
No,
Ralph. Ralph, let's talk about your situation. What made you turn around for the better? What was your turning point in your life?
I think it was in a few years ago. I am now saved 12 years. I'm serving the Lord 12 years now. So I think it was a few years ago when I was separated with my wife, and I was staying in Levendale. And I was working in Cape Town on my own, buying things in and selling things to people and make just a living for me. But in that time, I was still on drugs and using pep and mandrakes. And one Saturday, I was sitting by my store, and lots of people was walking up and down. And then I saw somebody is coming on, but there was a light shining on him. But I didn't notice it was Sebastian that is walking towards me. And so when he see me, he stopped. He said, "Daddy." I say, "Yeah, Sebastian." Hy sê my, "Waar is papa? Ons wat die voor dood. Papa moet huis toe kom, man. Hoekom enige iets kan gebeur, sê my papa." En ek sê vir hom, "Nee, man, ek is so right, moenie vir jou worry nie. En hoekom lyk jy so goed? Why are you looking so good?" He said, "No, I changed my life. I give my heart and life to Jesus Christ." I say, "What? No, this cannot be." I say, "Yes, it's real. You must come home, and then we can talk together."
I think that's so phenomenal, Sebastian, to see that, of course, you found your way through the Lord. Let us talk about your project of hope quickly. Tell us about it and what made you decide to do it. But we don't have a lot of time, so we have to talk through it quickly.
Okay. Well, the Project Hope started 2012 when I was invited from a principal who arranged a visit for me one day in the Klein Dragenstein prison. So she's a principal. So she ran the school in the Q town. She told my mommy that I must come and speak to the kids. When my mommy told her, I changed my life. So I went to the school and I spoke. At that time, I had a job. I got a job after I stopped with the drugs and stuff. So I took my leave and I went to the school and I spoke to the kids there. And little did I know there was a boy whose dad was also in prison, and he was similar my age, 6, 7 years old. And there was a younger boy on grade 6 that was smoking dacha on school. So, and there was a young girl whose daddy, they saw dead in front of her.
Sure.
So on my way back home, I was sitting and thinking, why is this? Why do I come across this situation? And I had to speak to kids like this. And the question popped to me, if this is the situation in Q-Town, how does your own community, Menenberg, looks like? And I went to schools here in Menenberg and I spoke to the principals and I told them the first 2 schools that I engaged with was Downville Primary and Sonderen Primary. And I went to the principals and I told them, listen, I want to come speak to the kids about gangsterism and drugs. So the first year they allowed me in and I told them, listen, it's for free. We don't want money. And then I went to the schools on my leave and I spoke to the kids about gangsterism. And there was a lot of kids that said, no, they don't want to go on drugs. They don't want to be gangsters and stuff. But I always tell them it's about the choice you're going to make at the end of the day.
That's true.
And for the second year, I went again, and then I discovered that there's a lot of kids that come to school with broken shoes, broken tekkies and stuff. And they come with different shoes that is not applicable of wearing in school, you know. And I said to myself that I need to do something. And I approached the principal after the talk that I had with the kids at the school. I said to him, sir, I would like to work on
a project.
A way how we can help kids with school shoes for winter. And he said, no, this is a good idea. That because I said to myself, what's the use? I'm sharing a message with the kids, but the kids have a need.
Yes.
So I said, okay, let me see what I can do.
We don't have a lot of time now. I quite get the gist of it. Can we just get your dad to speak a little bit? Ralph, what has it meant for you to be able to, embark on this project and know that you are changing people's lives in your area for nothing but the better?
Yeah, as for me, the time when we come together as a family again and God restore our marriages, me and my wife and my family. So Sebastian went out on trains to collect money. He went out in parking areas and collect money, and then he did buy some school shoes. But for me, I'm just glad you can see that my son did change his life. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there who supported with this project, and I cannot explain you how I'm feeling, but I'm just glad to see that me and my son that was smoking drugs together, that we are working together today for the community, that we can give back to the children that is in need for some shoes.
I must tell you, Ralph, myself and the team are very proud of yourself and your son for changing your lives for the better, but not just doing that, by going out and learning to change other people's lives in your area as well and make their families get together and change things for the better. What last message would you like to leave us with, Ralph?
A message.
I just want to tell the people out there that change is possible. You must never lose hope to think that you cannot come right. For those who out there that is on drugs, maybe is in alcohol, maybe there's a problem in the house, you mustn't give up. You must just work on it and work on your situation where you are in. And God can change your life in a split second. As for me, I was thinking about myself. I think I was 33 years and 9 months in prison, like broken servers, 12 years, 6 years, 8 years, 5 years, 3 years, 12 months, like that. and all the sentences come up to 33 years and 9 months.
Sure, that's a long time. But we seem to be running out of time. We do understand what is meant for you to be able to change your life around. How can people quickly, is there a page that they can go to support your Project Hope?
Okay, well, we on Facebook. We have a Hope page on Facebook where we upload our videos and stuff. What we do our own fundraisings to raise money for schools. We have a couple of businesses that supported us. We are connected with Buccaneers Factory Shop Boss also.
Okay, lovely. So we'll get our listeners to have a look at that page. You said it's Project Hope, and is it on Instagram or Facebook?
It's on Facebook.
Okay, most definitely we'll load those things on. But we want to thank yourself, Ralph and Sebastian, for joining us this morning. We seem to have run out of time for actually giving us a version of a story that I think is so phenomenal. And you are definitely role models to others. We want to commend you and of course salute you on the type of change you've made in your life and made it for the better. And you're now going out as role models into society, especially in the Menenberg area, to be able to change other people's lives for the better. So we wish you nothing but the best as far as that is concerned. And we will be watching your story and, of course, supporting you with it as we go along. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, stay safe, and all the success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Goodbye. That was, of course, father and son Sebastian and Ralph Haricombe, who left the gang to start Project Hope. And I think it's a very phenomenal story, teaching us that we can change our lives for the better, irrespective of the types of challenges and situations we face. We'll be back with you in an instant.